Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes and
Moose Mike.
So welcome back to all our returners and hi to any newbies. It's so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while, and if you like what you see, give us a thumbie. They are free. So Mike and I were talking and we kind of came up with the conclusion that we haven't done a crochet and chat for a while. And we have a little bit of time today to just sit and crochet and chat with you. So if you are new here, basically Mike and I just crochet on our projects while we just chit chat with you. A lot of other content creators do this, and it's quite nice to just sit and listen to someone chatter and you work along with them. So that is the kind of idea behind this. In fact, I think it's been at least a couple of months since we've done one. And normally we do sit in our comfy spot while we crochet. But today we are doing it in front of our yarnscape because we have more than just this video to film. So we just may as well just sit here and chat a little while with you. So if you haven't been here since we started these, Mike just works on whatever project he has going at the time, and it varies from each episode. I use these videos to work on a very long-standing project. I have been working on this project for well over a year, guys. I carried this over from 2022. We're nearly at the end of 2023, and I'm still nowhere near getting this project finished, but it gives me something different to work on while I chat with you compared to all the other things that I've got on more regularly that we fill you in on every week. And that is my fruit salad square blanket, and I've just made that up. It isn't a pattern, it isn't a thing, it's just something that Manfa decided to do because back in 2022 when Premier released the sweet roll fruits, I totally fell in love and I just had to have them, and I spent an absolute fortune getting the sweet roll fruits and getting them shipped all the way from the US to here in the UK. It did cost a bomb, and it has been my one and only purchase from Premier, guys, because I just cannot justify it. And then when I got the fruits, as most of you may know, the fruits work up better if you knit with it, because obviously knitting is a much smaller stitch and the patterning of the fruit comes out much more clearly with smaller stitches. So I decided to do lots of squares using single crochet to try and get as close to the patterning of the fruit that I could. And then the idea was to connect them all with a different colour. So I am currently putting a border on my fruit squares using this, and then when they're all bordered I will use this again to connect them together and then put on a lovely border, and I will eventually have a fruit salad square blanket. But like I said, I've been working on this since 2022. I don't know when this blanket will ever get finished, but it will. It's gonna carry over to 2024. This could be my longest standing project ever, because I have been crocheting now for 8 to 9 years, so I don't think I've ever had, mind you, no, that is a big old fib, because upstairs I haven't quite brought myself to get rid of some of my beginning projects when I first learnt. I never finished them, and I don't even know if I still have the pattern or even the yarn I was using, but I never ever finished it, and it was using intarsia and making little squares with hearts, different coloured hearts in the middle, using the intarsia technique. And I had a big old grand scheme when I was a very, very new crocheter that I was either going to make a big old blanket or a cushion cover or something that I needed multiples of this square. But I never finished it because obviously as my confidence grew and my skill set grew, I kind of put that to the side and, oh, I've got to make a hat and I've got to make this and I've got to make that. And you know what it's like, guys, because now I'm a crocheter with a channel and I normally have several whips going at once. And I never went back to it. I don't know if I could even figure out what yarn it was or what pattern I was using, because I actually think I borrowed my crochet teacher's pattern, which I had to give back when I stopped taking classes because I had graduated, and she said, right, well, you don't need me no more, off you go. But I can't get rid of them. So there is a very long-standing sleeping whip upstairs, buried in a chest, but I can't bring myself to get rid of it because it's part of my crochet journey. So I might do something with them in the future. You never know. And actually, I think if I was to dig them out and look at them, I'd be like, oh, Manfa, what was that you made? But at the time, I was very proud of myself because, bearing in mind, before I started that project, all I had made was a crochet dishcloth, and I went straight from a crochet dishcloth to Intarsia. That is how Manfa did her journey, and I've always given Mike grief for running before he can walk.
You did the same.
I did the same, but I had the obsession and the passion and the I need to crochet every day in me to be able to run, whereas you needed a little bit more easing in, ideally. But you've done really, really well. I mean, hey, guys, it's going to be, what, 2 years in April that you've been crocheting? Because it was 1 year this April, I believe. So, yeah, next April, Mike's only been doing this 2 years, and he's sat here working on a shawl. I mean...
Quite
and
an
it's not,
shawl
and it's
well.
not his first shawl. Like, this isn't. I wouldn't even say this is your most intricate pattern either. To be fair.
No.
No.
I would say.
It's up there.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
I'm doing another shawl at the moment that's got more intricate to it. It's a bit more lacy.
Yeah, but it depends on your perception of intricate, doesn't it? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, my first ever wrap shawl was intricate, but I still did it.
But when it was broken down into the components
Yeah,
of how
not
it was
too bad.
built, it wasn't actually as intricate as it looked. It just looked really intimidating.
I would say the most intricate shawl would have been Christina's.
Yeah. But again, once you broke that down and you realised how it was built up.
But it was still the most intricate because of the unfinished
and
stuff.
How new you were.
It was,
yeah. And how new
so
you were
lacy,
to doing
that
it.
one was.
But this is the beauty I find in crochet, guys. I haven't actually crocheted a stitch. I've just been yapping. Let me get some yarn on me hook. But this is the beauty of...
half shawl. Or half a row.
half a row, thank you. Don't go, I've done half a shawl. No, you haven't. But this is what I find that in the beauty of crochet is once you know your basic stitches, that you know how to create those basic stitches, and you are able to read a pattern and follow the instruction of how to put these basic stitches together, you literally can make anything. And then if you take it another step further again, where you are able to read chart symbols, it doesn't matter what language the person speaks or writes in who made the pattern. If they've used the universal language of charts, you can make anything, and I mean anything. It's getting the confidence in those basic skills to begin with, and once you've mastered them, the world is literally your crochet oyster. You know, I might actually make a crochet oyster just for that saying. Because once you've mastered your basics, you can even make amigurumi, guys. I know a lot of you are very intimidated by amigurumi, but essentially it's just a lot of single crochet. It's just where you put those single crochet, learning how to increase, learning how to decrease, and then attaching the bits and bobs onto it to create whatever creature or item you're making. It's fabulous. It really is fabulous. I am so obsessed with this fibre art. I always have been. Mike still doesn't, to my level, have a need in him to crochet every day. But when he gets that FO, when he finally finishes a project, because remember, Mike doesn't get as much crochet time as what I do. That feeling of an FO, Mike, is just something else in it. That all those hours that you have dedicated to making this item, and also if you're making it for someone else as well. I'm just going to tip the camera a little bit so you can see that we are actually crocheting. You just get that feeling of accomplishment, that feeling of pride, that feeling of, oh, I hope the person I've made it for absolutely loves it, and There's no better feeling that you've just turned a ball of string, essentially. And yeah, this is a big old ball. It's like my head. It's Mike's head. It's huge. But you've turned that big old ball of string that is nothing other than a ball of string into anything your heart desires. Literally. Literally. All of these that you see behind me look beautiful behind me, but they're going to be even more beautiful when I decide what they're going to be and actually create it. I've turned a spherical object into a scarf, into a hat, into a jumper, into a shawl, whatever the case may be. Like, how amazing is that? And a lot of people that don't do the fibre arts jokingly say it's like witchcraft, because you've turned something that's not really notable into something absolutely stunning. So, you know, I do have a real passion for crochet. And Mike's told you guys before several times that he only really learnt to crochet so that we had a joint hobby that we could do together, that it meant that we had something tangible to enjoy together and spend time. Because he would go on his computer games, I would sit and crochet, but we realised that we weren't actually on the same page, even though we were on the same room, because I was busy making whatever I was making and he was busy, I don't know, killing zombies or running around space or at the bottom of the ocean or wherever he was in these games. And I had literally no interest in what he was doing, and he had no interest in what I was doing. He would always say, it looks really good, I did a really good job on it, and he can't believe that I've turned that ball of string into whatever I was making. And he's always been well impressed with my amigurumi. But it didn't go any further than that. It wasn't, oh, I want to know how to do that. That's really good. But along the way, and then obviously with the start of the channel that he was the one that pushed me into doing anyway, it became a thing that he, and also Mike being Mike, well, it can't be that hard. Which still, with the expression that I just pulled, rankles me a little bit, because until you've tried it, do not make any judgment, because actually you can either do it and do it very, very well, you can do it and get by, or it's something that you really, really struggle with and you just don't have the skill set for, and that is okay. All of that is okay. But to sit there never picking up a ball of yarn or a hook saying, well, it can't be that hard, I was like, try it then.
So I did.
You know, let me see the proof in the pudding. Prove to me it's not that hard. Prove to me that you can be taught, that you can do what I'm doing, that you're going to stick to it, that you're actually going to make it a thing. So he took that bait, like he does, because he will not be proven wrong, just like me. And he ran with it. And yeah, April, it'll be 2 years. So there we go. And along the way as well, even though Mike hasn't been doing it for too long, you found your niche, haven't you? You really do enjoy the shawls and the gifting them as hugs, because Mike doesn't actually like a lot of crocheted items, and he doesn't mean offence by that at all. It's just not his aesthetic. He's never asked me to make him a jumper or a sweater. He's never wanted a cardigan or a scarf or a hat. It's just not his jam. It's just not his style. So now that he can do it, he would much rather make things that others will truly value, use, wear, whatever the case may be, because otherwise it's just going to sit gathering dust in a corner or shoved in a tote box, not doing anything. And what is the point in that? You know, actually, he gets a lot of joy of making it and gifting it on to someone who is really going to enjoy the labours of his love. So he likes the whole hug idea. That we have made some brilliant friends on this channel. some of which we see as even more than friends, more like family, and they will forever have something that he's gifted to them and made with his own hands, put his love into every stitch, because we can't just bob on a plane and go and see all of our American friends or our Canadian friends, or, you know, we've got friends that are in Italy. We've got friends all around the world, guys. We can't just jump on a plane and go see them. It's just not viable for us. But he can send a hug in crochet form, and they can wrap themselves up in it going, Mike loves me. So that is what Mike does and enjoys. I'll just make everything and anything. I want to make all the things, whether they've got a purpose or not. And I am one of those people that have got tote boxes full of stuff or piles of stuff. I'm looking at a pile right now. It's not doing anything, but I made it and it's there, and I enjoyed making it at the time. I've been gifted beautiful hugs by people that live on Wibbly Wobbly Wendy. I've actually got 3 hugs on Wibbly Wobbly Wendy as we speak, and I occasionally change them out so that people can see little snippets of them. And they mean the absolute world to me, that somebody took that time to make that beautiful item and gift it to me. They could have gifted it to absolutely anyone, but they picked little old me. There you go. I've bordered one square while we've been talking. This is the plum colourway. Lots of purples and mauves, and there is some speckling in there. So that's another one bordered. I'll do the ends after we turn the camera off.
And I've done a row of V-stitches.
Oh, did you have to frog, did you?
No.
Oh, row of V-stitches. I thought you said re-stitches, as in you redid them.
No, V-stitches.
Oh, Manfa, dig out your ear holes, love. Right, now, this next thing that I want to talk to you guys about, Mike and I have spoken about, and it could be absolutely ridiculous, but there's no harm in talking to my friends about it, right? I've spoken to Mike about it. He's my friend who I live with. Obviously more than a friend, but I'm just saying, you've got to be friends with the person you're in a relationship as well. And he said, well, chat to your other folks about it too. Now, we are filming this on Saturday, the 21st of October. You will be seeing this on Tuesday, the 24th. So we're filming for the future, but in the past. Did that mess with your mind a little bit? It always messes with my mind. So tonight, the day of filming, not tonight, the day of you watching, we're obviously going to go live. We go live every Saturday. But this is a moment of time before the live has even happened. And Mike said, discuss it on your live and see what people think. But seeing as we're having a crochet in chat, why don't we discuss it now as well? Because a lot of you either don't have the time to attend lives just aren't your vibe, it isn't your thing, you don't enjoy them, so you don't come, which is absolutely fine, no judgment whatsoever. And you may not have even heard me mention it, because this whole thing that I'm about to talk to you with actually came from a little bit of a flippant comment on last week's live. So if you don't do lives, you haven't even got a clue what I'm blathering on about.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a sip of my tea, because yap, 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 yap. Mike never gets a word in edgeways, but then he's not a very chatty person anyway. So we were on the live last week, not the Saturday just gone, the Saturday before. And I was telling folks about the fact that I had changed my little yarn scape behind me, and I wanted a cake scape because I love my cakes the most. They're the most pretty to me. And I wanted them as my backdrop. And I had spent all day switching out my cubes and putting things in new places and just changing it up. But I am the type of person that does have an inventory. I have spreadsheets, and I have shown my spreadsheets on the channel before as well. There is a video on it. It's an Excel, well, several Excel spreadsheets. And basically what I do is I pick a brand or a company. So for example, Hobie. These cakes literally right here by my head. Most of these are Hobie that you're looking at in this cube. Now on this spreadsheet, it will be Hobie yarn type, and all the bits that I actually list in my spreadsheet, and then down the left hand side will be all the different names of the yarns, so your salt and shadows, your pastellos, your horizons, your butterflies, etc, etc. You know where I'm going with this. And I will put like colour number, what it's made out of, the fibre content, how much the cake or the skein weighs in both grams and ounces, how much there is on there, both meters and yards. Did I say colour number? The colour number or colour name, the colourway. And then I believe it's how many of them I have in my stash, and then where they're located, whether they're on my shelf or whether they're in totes, these totes here. So I know that if I'm looking for Hobie Butterfly, I have 4 of this colour, 3 of that colour, and they are all located on my shelves, and I know where to find them. And I do it for every brand or yarn company that I have a stash of. And somebody mentioned in the... I'm not going to mention names because they were there, they know the conversation happened, and they, you know, might not want me to be talking about them without their knowledge, so whatever. Somebody mentioned, how do you find the time to have spreadsheets? And I basically jokingly said, hi, my name's Manfa. I'm a little bit OCD, not diagnosed. I'm just convinced I have a little touch of it. I am very anal when it comes to organisation. And I actually enjoy having my things itemised and all in one place at the click of a button to find the answer to my question without having to pull out all my cubes and then put the cubes back together again, not being able to find it. It just makes my little mind and heart happy. It makes it easier for me when I do go stash diving. And also, if my friends are looking for certain types of yarn because they've run out and need to, you know, complete a project, or it's something that they can't readily get available where they live, I can see if I've got some in my stash and I can be like, well, I've got 3 of them, I'm more than happy to send them to you. And then we just come to some kind of little arrangement, and I obviously then delete it off my spreadsheet because it's not mine anymore. I've gifted it on. And I've helped my mate out, or whatever the situation may be. Or Mike might say to me, oh, babe, do you remember that butterfly I bought? Can you remember how many of this particular colour I have? Because I'm looking at doing this shawl and I need to know how much yardage there is. With a click of a button, I open up my spreadsheet and I have all the answers that he needs. So for me, it just makes life easier and I get immense enjoyment from it. And like I said, if I gift it on, I delete it from my spreadsheet. If I use it, I delete it from my spreadsheet. Every time we are gifted yarn or we have a yarn haul, I add it to my spreadsheet. So I am always up to date with exactly what I have in my stash available to use. So they were like, oh, well, you need to come and do my stash. You need to do an inventory of my stash. And I said I would love to. Literally, I would love to. I would find great enjoyment from doing that. And I jokingly said, pay me in yarn. Because, hey, you know, we all love yarn. Well, anyway, that was the end of that conversation, and it must have stuck in my brain, in my subconscious somewhere, because at some point this past week, oh, excuse me, I am very hungry. I don't know if you heard that tummy rumble, but it was a loud one, because even Mike looks up. I need to eat, I think, after we've done this video. Oh, Mike's just answered in return. I think we both need a little bit of lunch.
I'm actually okay. I don't know what mine's talking about.
It's just responding to me. They're
Clearly.
having a chat. Anyway, it must have stuck in my brain because at some point this week I've actually had dreams, guys. I've had dreams that I've actually turned that silly idea into a viable business. And even my dream have ironed out some of the practicalities of doing it. So you could be watching me right now going, oh yeah, Manfa, how are you going to make your way all the way to New York to where I live and do my stash? Because you've just said you can't just jump on a plane and blah, blah, blah. But My goodness, I'm so sorry. This is actually a little bit embarrassing. I do apologise. Ignore my tummy. I will feed it, I promise. I've said, well, even though me and technology are not the best of friends at the best of times, it is there to use to our advantage. There are Zoom conferences, there's FaceTime, there's video calls. So, from the comfort of your home and me in the comfort of my home, we could be video chatting. You could be pulling out your totes, your shells, your cubes, however you store your yarn, and you could be telling me what yarn you've got in your hand, all the details I need for the spreadsheet, how many of them you have, and not only will I be able to give you your exact inventory of your stash, I will also be able to help you organise your storage so that it is all together in one place. Which, there are a lot of people out there that say, oh, I need to sort my yarn room, I need to tidy my shelves, I need to go through my stash, I need to organise it a bit better, I wish I had someone to help me do it, I've got zero motivation to do it, I really don't want to. For me, guys, that's my dream job, because I get to see yarn porn all day long. I get to chat with you and get to know you guys better and have a more personal relationship with. I get to do my other passion, which is organising people's lives. I mean, let's face it, that is exactly what I like. Mike relies on me to organise things, don't you? Because it's not one of Mike's strong suits, but it's okay because I've got his back. I'm way organised, probably to the point where I'm too organised and I need to relax a little bit and be a bit more spontaneous rather than in control all the time. And yeah, it would just tick all the boxes. Now, I would do that for friends once in a blue moon if they asked me to, no questions asked. But in my dream, I had actually turned it into a viable business where I didn't have to go and leave the home to go out to work. I just scheduled appointments with the people that wanted me to organise their stash for them and inventory for them through the beauty of what we're talking through right now, and obviously get paid for the service that I provide. And in my dream, I was very, very happy. I had work satisfaction. I had built up my relationships with you that I see around the YouTube streets all the time. It just ticked all the boxes and did everything that I wanted in a job. And I was speaking to Mike and he was like, well, you never know, babe. There might be a market for that. There may actually be people that take you up on the offer. And I'm like, don't be so silly. People just don't have the money for that kind of luxurious service because, hey, I'm not actually providing a service that is essential. It's not necessary. It's not like I'm a doctor or a nurse or a police officer or a teacher or anything like that. I'm literally just getting you to tidy up your yarn rooms and have a document that you could eventually change as time goes on. If you use a yarn, you know, a ball of yarn out your stash, you just reduce the number from 4 to 3 and save it again. It's not difficult, and obviously I would be available to help you with any of those further needs after the original document was made. But yeah, I think it is just a pipe dream, guys. And I think it kind of come about with, and I said this to Mike as well, you see these series on telly, whether it's Netflix or whatever platform you watch your telly on, where people actually pay people to come and glamorize their closets. Like, they will go with the owner and they will go through what they're going to keep, what they're going to donate, what they're going to sell, and then the stuff that they're going to keep, that person literally reorganizes, you know, the owner's closet to make it look like a high-end bougie fashion store or a quaint little kitchen, whatever aesthetic they're wanting. They provide it for them. They get paid thousands just for tidying someone's closet. Really? There aren't really that sort of thing here. There's not really a viable thing here. I don't even have a closet. I don't think anyone in the UK has a closet. It's just not a thing. We have wardrobes. So I think it is realistically a pipe dream. But if anything I have said is something you are interested in, and it is something that you need to do, but either you don't have the technology skills to do a spreadsheet, you don't have the patience to list it all and check it all and all of that thing, but you do and are able to dig through and pile through your stash, and it could take more than one call, it could be a series of calls, you're willing to pay for that service, which is always the icky sticky part. I don't like talking about money. I don't even have any idea what I would charge. But if that has sparked a no, that sounds like an opportunity and I wish Manfa was being serious, email me. Email me or drop a comment down below and go, can we talk? Seriously, can we talk? And I will find a way to get hold of you. I mean, I would be living my best life, I think, because I'm earning money from the comfort of my own home, and not only am I doing something that I'm enjoying, I'm helping you organise and change your life too for the better. I mean, how much better can that get? He's over there on the sofa. Leave your feet alone, they'll get sore, Rolo. Thank you. So yeah, there's my silly little segment of chatting with you today, but Mike said you never know until you mention it. So I'm mentioning it, I'm putting it out there, but it's fine. If none of you are in a position to do so, if you're like, well, I could just do that myself, why would I pay you to do it? Fair enough. Fair enough. And there is never any pressure. It is just an idea that my brain seems fixated on, and I thought I would chat to you guys about it. So there's that.
It's not just the chat though, is it? You're selling your skills.
Yeah, but not in a pressured, like,
No,
arrogant
but you're still
way.
selling
Though.
your skills if you've got the skills and the inclination to be organised.
When I used to work in admin, and I really enjoyed admin, that was probably one of my most favoured jobs in my adult life. You know, I used to do invoicing and spreadsheets and payrolls and stuff, and most people would find that mind-numbingly boring, but for me, I actually really, really enjoyed that type of work. And quite frankly, if I could get more admin work and get rid of the physically crippling work that I am currently doing, I am here for it. I would do it in a heartbeat. So yeah, I suppose it's not, and it's not even that people don't have the skills, it's they don't have the inclination or the want to use those skills because it's mind-numbingly boring for them, and they could think of nothing worse. They'd rather bleach their eyeballs or something, and that's perfectly fine because it's different strokes for different folks, right? That's a very British saying, and I hope I haven't caused any offence by using it, but different different horses for different courses, however you want to word it. But yeah, I always used to think my dream job would be a wedding planner, but then my marriage failed and I'm whole bitter about the whole marriage thing, so I don't want to be a wedding planner anymore. But that's just a personal insight that I didn't really need to share. But hi, my name's Manfa, I overshare. Yeah, so there's my silly little idea. There we go.
Keep chatting, I've nearly done 2 rows.
Well, you can come up with a conversation as well, you know. It's not just me sat here supposed to be doing crochet and chat.
Well, I don't know what to talk about. You're well away. So.
Well, I don't know. Maybe tell the folks about something in your life that you've been up to or want to achieve, or how your week's been, or I don't know. Anything. The weather, the fact that Halloween's coming. Just chat. He doesn't even know how to chat with me, guys, to be fair. It's like I do the talking and he'll just nod or shake his head.
I can chat, just my life's not exciting.
Well, neither's mine, but I still find stuff to waffle about.
Okay, so I don't know.
He gets so awkward, bless him. Plus, it's multitasking. He's got to concentrate on what stitches he's putting in that shawl and try and talk at the same time.
And I've colour changed.
Ooh. Right.
Halfway through it.
Oh no, what Manfa hates.
But I'm not colour controlling this one, so I'm just going with it. And it's quite a bold change. I'll show you in a minute.
It's going to be a harsh break in that colour change.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Really
And
harsh.
so now he's gone on to the royal blue colour using his yarn bowl from our beautiful, beautiful friend that we love oh so much.
Nearly
She
there.
knows who she is. And if you've been here a while, you know exactly who gifted that to us as well. He's nearly there, guys. He's nearly there. So yeah, Premier Sweet Roll Fruits is what the squares are, and the big old ball, I keep forgetting what it is. I know the colour's peat, P-E-A-T. Oh yes, Stylecraft Special Aran with wool. It's a 400-gram ball, guys. 80% premium acrylic, 20% wool. There are 892 yards on this bad boy. Yeah, so it's a full weight, just like the fruits.
Look at that for a harsh break.
Oh no, see, I would rip back, cut
Nope.
off there and reattach and do the whole
No,
row.
because I have this funny feeling that when I start the next row, it's going to blend. Like it did with this one. Right there.
Yeah, but you've gone from like baby blue to royal blue.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's Mike's hug, it's Mike's choice.
I
so...
am not colour controlling the butterflies anymore because it ruins them.
Why does it ruin it?
Well, it did it last time.
But how? Why did it ruin it? You
It
mean
just-
it's more work for you having to tie on more ends and weave in more ends?
I don't mind doing that, actually.
Right, so explain then.
It ruins the yarn. It makes, because it's that soft, silky stuff, it goes all fluffy before you've made it into something.
He's just coming up with nonsense.
I'm
now.
really not.
He is. That's just not even... Anyway, let's leave that there because I have managed to do 2 measly squares because I've been talking more than I've been crocheting. But we have kept you for the best part of 40 minutes, so I suppose we better let you get on with your day because you're busy peeps. And you might have more important things to do than to sit and listen to us waffle on.
And Manfa's stomach's hungry.
Yeah, I better go and eat. 40 minutes is quite a while for you to be listening to that grumbling
I
away
might
as
have
well.
a little something as well.
Yes, it doesn't take a lot to bend his arm when it comes to
I'm
food.
just going to have me pork scratching.
Right, so thank you very much for your time today. Let me know down in the comments, what are you actually doing with your Tuesday? What plans have you got? Are you just crafting the day away? All snuggled up in your house, living your best life? Are you out working? Are you planning Halloween shenanigans? What are you up to? Let me know. I'm always curious. I'm nosy. And I will always say I am nosy. And like I said, if my silly little pipe dream is something that you would be interested in, drop me an email. But I'm not expecting any emails. It's absolutely fine. But unless you speak it and make it known, nobody's going to know about it. So that's exactly what I chose to do. Right, we're going to go and stuff our faces. I hope your crafting week is going really, really well. Tomorrow, what are we going to do for tomorrow? I have no idea yet. I still have no ideas what video I'm doing for Wednesday. But then, of course, Thursday is Tile of the Week and Friday will be Crochet Catch Up. And I do. You all laugh at that, you Americans. It's not even a thing here. I do provide content Monday to Friday and a live on a Saturday. So there is still plenty still to come this week. But until we see you again,
stay safe.
be kind.
Look after one another.
Get some good quality time in with your loved ones.
Get some good quality crafting time in.
We will see you in the next one.
All around the YouTube streets.
Bye guys. Love
Bye.
ya.